Hi, Tony Mennillo here, founder and director of Better Than Ever. Today we're talking about why. Why do you want to lose weight? Why do you want to be fit? Why do you want to be healthy? That is the biggest question that eludes so many people because they jump straight into the how do I do it instead of understanding why. Why do you want to change? What is that feeling? What is that emotion that's going to push you to make that change? The why needs to be attached to a feeling. It needs to be attached to something that you know without a shadow of a doubt that you're going to achieve. And so let me give you an example. There's no point in saying, I want to lose 10 kilos. I mean, that's nice. But you need to attach that to something. I want to lose 10 kilos because I know that I'll have more energy to run around with my kids in the backyard, kicking the footy around and playing tennis and whatever. That's a compelling why. And that is something so significant that your children will value for the rest of their lives. So you need to make sure you attach some emotion to the reason why you want to change, why you want to lose that weight, why you want to get fit, why you want to be healthy. So, you need to have a step that you can take in order to change the way you think about it. Because sometimes when we talk about a why, it can be so big. I've had people come to me and say, but Tony, I've got to lose like 50 kilos. I need to, I'm never, they think in the past, I used to weigh, I used to fit into. Well, why can't you do it now? Age has no barrier. There is no limits. What limits you is your fear of change. So you need to overcome that. You need to overcome the reason why you haven't taken that step. But when you get to that point where enough is enough, and everybody gets to that stage. Everybody is either in denial or ready to make that change. And when you are concrete, you are set that you have no further second will go by without a change occurring, you then need to take that next step. So let's break this big why, this big better than ever goal down into something that you can do immediately. And the immediate step is simple. What is the first thing that you need to do? Now, I believe the best way to action a why, because a why in thought is just an idea. When you say, oh yeah, I should lose some weight, I should get fit, it's an idea. And if you don't act on it within 5 seconds, as Mel Robbins in her 5-second rule book says, if you don't act it within 5 seconds, it's gone. And you'll just be thinking about it day in, day out. But if you action it, and the way we action something is we journal it or we write it down. Now, you might just write it down on a piece of paper, on a Post-it note, and stick it on your mirror in your bathroom so that every day, you're looking at it and you're going, all right, that's the reason why I'm doing this. This is the reason why I want to lose weight. I want to get fit. I want to be healthy. This is the reason. Because everybody gets to a point where something significant happens that creates a shift. It might be a death in the family or a friend of similar age, and you realize, oh, gee, that's close to me. If I don't do something, maybe I might end up like that person. Or it could be that time that you got to put that skirt on or that pair of jeans on and, it doesn't quite fit, and you're sucking your stomach in, and then all of a sudden the button bursts and you feel embarrassed and you got nothing to wear, and you have to go shopping again, and that can be embarrassing. That's another reason why people make a change. It could be something that someone says to you, oh, gee, you look like you put on a bit of weight. And it could be quite hurtful. Everybody's got that trigger. Everybody's experienced that trigger. Now, you need to decide, am I going to agree with what that person says or that example of, yeah, I better change and not act on it? Or are you going to find a reason why you need to change? And then all of a sudden, you make a step in the right direction for the first time in your life and take that first step. Like I said, write it on a Post-it note. Put it in your journal. If you don't have a journal, I'm a big fan of journaling. At the end of the day, writing out all your thoughts, getting them out of your head and writing them out. And if it means that the first thing you write on page 1 is your why, the reason why you're doing this, the reason why you're keeping a journal, the reason why you're taking that first step, that may be the first thing, because every little step is a small change, and every small change eventually gets you to where you want to be. And unless you take that first step, it's never going to happen. We always say, if you want to chop down the oak tree, and no disrespect to any greenies, you can't knock it down with the first swing of the axe. The first thing you got to do is have a look at that axe and see whether it needs to be sharpened. And that's your why. Your why is looking at your axe, picking up the axe, making the decision. We call it the CDC, commitment, discipline, and consistency. You need to make the first step by making a commitment. The commitment is picking up that axe. The second step is saying, okay, what am I going to do with this axe? Before I chop this tree, before I change my life, I need to know why I want to change my life. And that is looking at the axe and saying, okay, I better sharpen it. So your why needs to be, what is the first step that you need to take? It may be you need to talk to your family and get the support, and so that you've got the support that you need to take that first step. It might be writing it down on a piece of paper, in your journal, on a post-it note, wherever you see it. It might be, if your goal is to fit into your wedding dress, maybe you got to dig deep and find where that box is that you got that wedding dress stored, pull it out of the bottom of the cupboard and hang it up so you can see it every single day. And it's a constant reminder for you to make that change. Because you think about it, every time you walk into your bedroom and you see that wedding dress, you're going to be like, oh gee, that's the reason why I want to get the results I want to get, because I want to get back into that wedding dress. Why do I want to get back into that wedding dress? Because I felt my best on the day I got married. Now that's one example. You may have an example that works for you. Whatever that is, you need to document it, write it down, and then continually write it down. A really strong habit is to write down your goals or write down your why every single day. As soon as you wake up, first thing in the morning, what's your why? What am I going to do today? Why am I doing what I'm doing today? At the end of the day, reflect on what happens throughout the day and write down why you're going to do what you need to do tomorrow. So they're just simple things and actionable things that you can do right now. And it doesn't take much. It doesn't cost anything. It just requires you to get a piece of paper and a pen and document it. Take that step. Make the first step the best step that you need to make to change your life forever. Just remember, in order to get the results that you want to achieve and experience your why and make that sustainable, you need to action it. Once it's actioned and you continue to action it on a daily basis, it becomes like concrete, and it's a constant reminder. That dress, that pair of jeans, those things you have hanging up in your bedroom, the item of clothing, the person that you rely on that keeps telling you you're doing a great job, whatever it is that keeps you to your why, keeps you accountable to your why, is what's going to drive you. As we always say, results start here, and everybody deserves to be better than ever.